Hey everybody, it's been a couple of weeks since I've made any videos. Been awfully busy. Just started rehearsal for a musical, Guys and Dolls. It's a great American classic. We're gonna do the brakes on the old choo-chur today. I've got the brakes that have been sitting in a box over there for, geez, I don't know how long. By the way, the garage is really coming together. And I don't mean the decorations, I mean all the lovely garbage that I've collected everywhere. Boxes and boxes of filth. Absolutely what I am all about. So, these guys sat out for a while. Wait, there they go. There's the new ones. It was like 20 bucks a piece at the Vato Zone. And you can see all that lovely brake dust there. I just came back from a camping trip. It's awesome. Gotta make a little tidbit about that. And here it goes. I'm still sick. We didn't bring many snacks. The snow is deep, but the view is spectacular. Oh man. Can I have your snacks? No. Let me just go to the front camera. That's so cool. Aslan's being a really good boy. This is life at 12,000 feet. Alright, now that we're back here, I'm talking to myself. Tabby and I are enjoying our new home. We're watering our plants. And I think it'd be more water efficient to just collect all the drips from the leaky faucets, but we're not about recycling, are we? Oh, so ugly. Now there's this terrible pedal feel. Basically when you come into a stop it goes and as it groans, the pedal jumps around almost like your ABS is engaging. I think there's some real slop in that caliper. We're gonna find out. Let's jack her up and get to work. We really did have a good time, however, and it was a great trip. You can see right here where we ran it off the road, collected a bit of dirt in the crossmember, beat the crap out of my lip. You can see how 7 coats of plastic have held up. Oh, that's lovely. And I can't find a stool, so I'm basically gonna try sitting on these little IKEA flimsy whimsleys. Ooh, maybe not. Subwoofer? So, yeah. A couple of recent honorable mentions include a coil, fuel pump, extra grill piece, alternator with the voltage regulator, and a pair of Strombergs from a 164. It was a 1972. Beautiful car, full of rot all over the place. It was bad. It was really bad. I also lost the odometer gear. I hadn't replaced it yet. I ordered a new one. That was bad. So let's see how much dirt is in here still. Yeah, when we hit that side of the road there and really ran it off, it put dirt all over right there, which eventually hopped its way out. It's still a big oily mess underneath. I'm not happy about that, but what can you do? I'm pretty sure the coolant leak is my head gasket. It's not coming anywhere near the pump. It's actually right here in the corner. You know, not really at the pump, definitely further under the #1 runner. So she's on her way out, and of course the Volvo Rescue shall rescue her when the time comes. And I did also score the best thing I could have got, that hose that goes from the receiver dryer, I believe that's what it's called, across there into the compressor. I can finally have AC again. It's been hot. Okie dokie, I made a nice little cushion chair out of that tire wheel spinning thing here, and we're gonna take out the 2 bolts that hold the caliper in place, and that's going to slide out. You're gonna want a bungee cord so you don't put the tension on the brake line thing. Alright, good. Okay, after you move those 2 nuts there, the size on them is 15 millimeters Canadian, you can beat the crap out of this guy gently until he hangs out. I'm gonna need both hands for this, but then hang him on the spring there with over yonder here bungee cord. So now with this guy out of the way, it's really a great time to check your wheel bearings here. And they shouldn't sound like that. They should sound like quiet and spin freely. You can pop off the grease cap and check your grease amount too. I'm going to do that later because I want a time crunch here. The two bolts holding the rotor in at that point is a small 10mm, yonder, and a guide pin for your wheel, yonder. And now, man, I dropped something on my foot. I'm in socks because my garage is so clean. I like walking around in socks, but ouch. Okay, this is the tone ring back here for your ABS. It almost looks like mine's making contact. You can feel it on one small spot. Basically gonna want to clean that up really, really well. Use a ton of brake cleaner. If you love inhaling chemicals, this is your favorite part. Arr. Well, I completely deformed the grease cap, getting it out, and I found the cause of the little bit of wobble I'm having in the front. That's in and out movement right there, not good. I'm gonna run over to the local Voila zone, get myself a new cotter pin, also some new grease, and I've got this terrible, terrible habit of getting more involved than I initially planned to get. But hey, I want this to be right, I want it to be solid. So I'm going to pull those bearings out, repack them. If they need replacing, God help us all, because the car's sticking out of the garage, so hopefully no one walks around. And yeah, just basically get that re-greased, re-torqued, and back in action. But I must be doing something right, because the missus is taking care of me. And she'll actually be joining us to the auto parts store. Oh, I've got your car keys in my car.
In your car?
Not your remote, I have the spare key.
Well, where am I?
I don't know. Where'd you put them? Okie dokie, here's the new arsenal of parts that we've acquired over the last hour. I got a box of gloves because I go through them like a pig. 3 cans of brake clean, that was 244 American pesos at the Walmart. Pack of grease, can't never have too much of that ceramic glide. Foot powder, because my feet smell, and a 6-pack of paper towels, because we already went through a full pack cleaning up what was left. So it's a bit dark here, but essentially, well, I pulled out the back of the hub. I slipped it off of there. I cleaned up the hub surface, and in here you can see all the loveliness that is where the bearing goes. How I got the bearing out, this is the race. I turned it upside down, I put it on there, and I tapped around the inside edge, where my finger is right here. Woo! And eventually I drove out the bearing, the bearing, and that last little cap, which I believe is a oil seal of sorts. There's no rubber on it. The rubber seal is actually right there. Yay, thank you, Volvo. So there's the bearing, there's the cap at the end. Clean them up, repack them, just like I showed you in my last video. Oh, when I say last video, I mean like 1.5 years ago when I was doing the wheel bearings on Arthur. And put it all back together. So, pretty straightforward wheel bearings, all that. Here is a brief inspection of the race, and it looks gorgeous. No pitting, no scoring, no burn marks. Looking at the outer race, similar. No pits, no scores, no burns. You can check if you think you have scores, run your fingernail across it. Try to see if you can feel it with your fingernail, and if you can, then it's a good idea to replace that race and that bearing. Now when you buy them, they usually come together pretty much 11 out of 10 times. So there's that. Got all the grease scooped out of there. I'm going to pour in some brake cleaner. Good old solvents. Some people don't like using solvents. They like using compressed air, which is fine. You do what you got to do. Water and compressed air. No water. No water. Take that back. You don't want them to rust at all. So solvents, compressed air, let it dry. Make sure you're out of old grease. As you pack in the new grease, a little bit of old grease might come out too. Wipe that out. And then make sure those bearings are packed. Reassemble. I've got 3 minutes left of memory on my phone, so I'm going to be sure to make this short, sweet, and to the point, like Chinese food. I don't know. what that means either.
Sure how to get to my friend's
Okay, I
house.
got the new brakes installed. No, don't let me stop you. I'm just vlogging.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so then
This is the hardware. This is the old hardware. I'm going to show you how it goes on here.
whatever. I'm just gonna take you home and your mom's gonna
Basically, you would remove that little cotter pin. Well, it'd be on this side of it.
So yeah.
And then the spring clips over the top there. You know, like that. And then these little arms, depending on whether or not you've got a full hook on one end, it'll hook around one side and then clip in the top and then tuck underneath the other side. So it's keeping tension, as you can see, underneath both pins right there. It's really hard to see, but it's all there. Alright. And then you grease the entire backside. And put grease on every metal-to-metal contact, which includes the sides of the brake pads, the slide pins, and the clip here. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired, but one side's almost put back together. Whew. No.
Why do you love flossing in it?
Everything's back together now. It's really tight. Tight. Oi. Not because of the wheel bearing, just because of the brakes. The wheel bearing is good. It won't spin freely, of course. The grease has got some resistance to it. I mean, it'll spin freely, but it won't go several rotations like the old one will. At least until it settles for a while. I forgot to add grease in the other cap about halfway, but that's, you know, what you want to do in there. And everything's tightened up. Final shot of brake cleaner, and everything's lubed up in there. So we're ready to put it back together. I'm going to brake in the brakes, which means, you know, you drive 45 miles an hour, brake hard to 25, rinse and repeat, and then come to a slow stop, let them cool down. Something like that. Don't take my word for it. Use the Google. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had a good night, and enjoy some more photos from my trip.